retirement ceremony honoring Lt Col Amy Husmann, culminating 21 years of distinguished service to the United States Air Force and the nation. The military retirement ceremony is steeped in military tradition and history. It is a milestone which very few of our nation's citizens ever experience, and an honor bestowed upon those few who have chosen to spend the greatest portion of their life in service to the country, placing the nation's needs ahead of their own. Today, the men and women of the United States Air Force and United States Air Force Essential Command pay special tribute to Lt Col Amy Husmann. Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the presentation of the colors and the playing of our national anthem.
Present the colors.
Cool. Okay, up. Forward, arm. Step. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, we would like to extend a special welcome to Lt Col Husmann's family and close friends. Please help me welcome Lt Col Husmann's husband, Lt Col Rob Husmann, and their two children, Xander and Xavier. Lt Col Husmann's mother, Mary Jo Garrett. Husmann's sister, Dr. Mary McGuire, and her brother via live stream, Mr. John Garrett. Lieutenant Colonel Husmann's au pair, Yassine Kerbali. We would also like to welcome our distinguished visitors. Colonel Stephen McFadden, Deputy Director of Absent A3. We would also like to welcome other distinguished guests, commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, family and friends, and all members of our Air Force family. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce the presiding officer of today's ceremony, Commander of the 609th Air Support Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Mike Gonzalez.
When Amy asked me to do this retirement ceremony, at first I was like, holy crap, what am I going to say? The next thing I went to is, so Amy's awesome, right? And she has a pretty kick-ass background. Flying planes, being a navigator, and like doing it in combat, like real world, kind of doing it out in Afghanistan. But the couple of things that I want to do first is I want to say, hey, hi Xander and hi Xavier, thanks for coming out, right? I know, thanks for letting us borrow your mom for such a long time. Now she's going to be, your mom full time. She's going to enjoy some of that downtime with you guys, right? Rob, thanks for being here. You've served alongside Amy this whole time as well. And you know some of the sacrifices that go into, being an active duty parent, right? Being a dual military parent is a very difficult job, and you're raising some great kids. So I think you're ready for Amy to be home as well, so that she can take advantage of being a full-time mom. Amy, thanks again for letting me do the ceremony. I know I was your second choice, so it's okay to be runner-up. I'm good with that. No worries. My wife tells me that all the time, so I'm getting an inflated head. Let's see here. I already talked to Xander and Xavier. Mary Jo, Mom, thank you for being here as well. You made that long trek from LA recently, and so that's huge. Sitting in the car for 4 days to come celebrate with Amy. We appreciate you coming out, you and your daughter coming out to say thanks and celebrate with her. When I think of Amy, 3 things come to mind, right? She's got a big heart, right? That you can see it every day. She is super organized, and I envy her for that because it's just so hard for me to do most days. And she's dedicated to the mission. And I want to say that because she's dedicated to the mission with a twist. Because if you know Amy, she's got a twist, right? So there's always a twist with Amy. And that's kind of what I like about her. She keeps things light, and she's always smiling. I don't think I've ever seen her have a bad day. And that's a testament to the type of person she is and the family that she was raised with. So she's originally from California. She's a Cali girl. I don't know how I feel about that, being a Texas guy, but we'll let that slide a bit. She earned her bachelor's and master's degree from San Francisco State University in Northern California. It's a big change from Southern Cali going up to Northern California to do college. Good on you for finishing, especially in San Francisco. But she earned her master's degree and bachelor's in performing arts. I don't know if you've read the bio that she has in there, her unofficial bio. It's pretty funny. It's pretty hilarious. And that's the kind of person Amy is. She doesn't take herself very seriously, and that's one of the things I really love about her as well. Let's see. So after she did, finished up her bachelor's and master's, she started serving food, I guess, for a couple of years before she decided the Air Force was probably a better option for her. So she joined, became a personnelist, right? Kind of one of those jobs that everybody needs, but nobody wants to see every once in a while, right? She was stationed at Vandenberg right away, so California was kind of her big deal for the first couple years of her career. She worked at the Mission Support Squadron there, and she was personnel flight commander for about 30,000 people, supporting 13,000 people on base there. One of the things that she's not proud of she did, you know those common access cards you guys have? When they first started issuing those, she ran that program for Vandenberg. She didn't want me to say that, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because that's a pretty cool program. Now that we have that, you know, we just kind of take advantage of the fact that it's there. And she issued quite a bit of those in her career as a personnel at Vandenberg. She ran such a tight ship over in that personnel flight that they decided they were going to send her over to the CE squadron. So the MSS, usually a small squadron, right? When you go to CE, that's like hundreds of people that you're dealing with now. And being the admin person in charge of all of those guys that end up getting dirty, you know, that build buildings, that dig ditches, those CE guys, she probably had a bit of a tough challenge adjusting to, you know, that kind of work ethic, or those guys just because they're always dirty. That's when I think CE, I think dirty guys and like uniforms and mud and all kinds of other stuff. So she did great there. After she was there for a little while though, she decided, hey, let me see if I can apply to navigator training. And she was recommended by her group commander for that. It's a big deal. You have to be a sharp, solid person for somebody to put their name on a piece of paper to say, yeah, this person will do great in a navigator training. So she did that. Graduated top third of her class. I don't think I've ever been top third of anything in my life. So that's pretty awesome. Amy's, you know, she is, like I said, it goes back to that dedicated mission, right? And always, you know, always doing her best. Because she graduated in the top third of the class, she chose to fly in the EC-130H. And that's one of those like cool planes that like listens essentially to stuff in the air. And from that point, she went over to Davis-Monthan. From 2004 to 2009, spent quite a bit of time at Davis-Monthan. And I think that's where she met and married Rob too, by the way. So it's a great assignment for her, great assignment for Rob, I think. They both excelled there. She excelled out of the gates there by qualifying in 4 months with no downgrades in her flight eval. I'm not a pilot, I don't know what that means, but it sounds pretty awesome. We can talk to the flyers here and let us know what that means afterwards. Let's see. Then she was over at the 41st Electronic Combat Squadron. Went over to the 755th because she was such an outstanding person. She became an instructor there and flew quite a bit of missions. Let's get back to how many missions she's flown. She's actually flown 985 combat hours. That's amazing. You know, for a drama, you know, drama school person to be in the Air Force and go and sit in a plane for almost 1,000 hours in combat, you know, direct combat. That's pretty kick-ass, and you know, I give her props for that. She was over at the 43rd Electronic Combat Squadron after that in Davis-Monthan, and then they, you know, I don't know how they. It seems like they were getting all these cush assignments. They went over to Pensacola after that. So Pensacola, Florida, man, that's like, you know, kind of like one of the prettiest beaches in the U.S. In that area. And her and Rob were there for about 5 years, from 2009 to 2013. There she was kind of like, they put her in charge of all these LTs, right? So you have young lieutenants who are, you know, coming up in pilot training, and she mentored all those young folks. I think we have a debt. We owe her a debt in that she has groomed some great young combat lieutenants recently. Her group commander there said she was a standout officer and aviator. They don't say that lightly. You know, when a commander or somebody in that higher grade says this person's doing a fantastic job, you know, and they put that on paper, that's an amazing feat. Then she, again, a terrible assignment, joined base Pearl Harbor, right, Hawaii. From one beach to the next, that's you know, I mean, how do you do that? It's insane. I don't know who you know or who you don't know, but can you like make sure that they, you know, that they give me a call? She wrote peaches for the PACAF commander, essentially the 4-star who is in charge of the entire Pacific theater. Pretty awesome work there. And then after that, I think they said, hey, you've been having too many coach assignments, so they sent her and Rob over to Langley, over in working at the ACC headquarters. There she did just a bunch of staff work, probably some stuff she doesn't want to talk about or remember over the years. And then after that, right around June of 2018 is when they came here to Shaw. So I think she's paying back all of those Pensacola and Hawaii assignments with these last 2 assignments, right? Here she helped us stand up the Air Support Squadron, the 609th Air Support Squadron. It used to be a detachment before of the Air Operations Center. She helped us do that here. She was the DO, Director of Operations, essentially the second in charge, right? So anytime the boss is gone, she's making things happen. From there, she deployed out to Mali for almost 15 months, right? Something like that. With the COVID restrictions and all of that, she kind of got held up over there and on the way back. But she did some fantastic work out there with the UN, doing some great stuff there. And then, as far as since I've known her in July, she's basically done a pretty good job of working with the AFCENT staff and keeping this guy, the ACES commander, out of trouble with the AFCENT staff. So I've relied on her quite a bit over the past 6 months, 8 months actually it's been since I've been here, to ensure that she's keeping me out of trouble by telling me, hey, you owe this, or you do that, or somebody's asking for this or that. And so I owe her a debt of gratitude. We're going to really miss her. That big heart and that dedication to mission, those things are going to be sorely missed when she's gone. I know there are quite a bit of folks here that are sad to see her leave, just because of the great person that she is. Just in general, you get such a great feeling when you're around her, and I'm truly going to miss that. I'm going to miss our bi-weekly sessions of what's going on, what's who's doing what, and how much is absent going to hurt me over the next few weeks. So she's been great. I really appreciate her leadership and her dedication. She's going to be I don't know how to replace her, to be honest. She's irreplaceable. And so I'm looking forward to the rest of your career as a mom, figuring out what your next phase is in your life. I think, but whatever you decide to do, it's going to be awesome, because you are an awesome person, and you bring that positive attitude to anything that you do. So with that, I'm going to turn the mic back over, and I'm going to go sit down so you guys can get on with the ceremony.